One egg has 6 grams of protein, and your body absorbs almost all of it, more than any other food on the planet, more than chicken, more than steak, more than any protein powder on the market. A dozen eggs costs under $3. The powder that tries to copy what an egg does naturally costs $40. You've had the best muscle-building food in the world sitting in your fridge this whole time. You just didn't know it. For years, we were taught to fear eggs. Too much cholesterol. Raises the risk of heart attacks. Better limit it to one a week. But something doesn't add up. Why did we demonize a food that has been part of human diets for thousands of years? While normalizing French fries cooked in reused oil, cereals packed with refined sugar, and drinks loaded with corn syrup. There's a contradiction very few people dare to point out. We fear eggs, but not ultra-processed food. We repeat unfounded phrases as if they were absolute truths. Don't eat the yolk, just eat the whites. Eggs clog your arteries. What if all of that was a lie? What if eggs were actually one of the most complete sources of protein and nutrients, and we simply misunderstood them? Let's put this into perspective. Cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity. These are modern conditions. They exploded in recent decades, precisely when the food industry flooded supermarkets with ultra-processed products. Before that, when our grandparents ate eggs every day, at breakfast, in simple farm lunches, and modest dinners, these diseases were rare. People weren't counting calories, they didn't go to the gym. And yet, there was less obesity and fewer heart attacks. So what changed? It wasn't the egg, it was the environment. Fake food, marketing disguised as science. We were convinced that a natural, complete food like the egg was the enemy, while cereal bars, hydrogenated margarines, and light beverages quietly entered every household. And so, millions of people began to fear a food that human biology has recognized for thousands of years. How long are we going to keep repeating this mistake? If you've ever thought eggs were just breakfast food, you're missing out on one of the most powerful foods for transforming your body. Let's start with the basics. A single egg contains about 6 to 7 grams of protein, with an amino acid profile so perfect it's used as the scientific reference standard to measure the quality of other proteins. In other words, egg protein isn't wasted. It's absorbed quickly. It's used efficiently. This protein contains leucine, a key amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis after training. But that's just the beginning. Eggs are also rich in choline, an essential nutrient for brain function, cell regeneration, and the production of acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter that controls muscle contraction. Without choline, you don't get proper muscle control. Without choline, you also don't get deep rest or efficient recovery. Eggs also contain vitamin D, essential for hormone production, immune function, and bone density. Vitamin A, vision, skin health, and reproductive system support. Vitamin E, an antioxidant that protects your cells from oxidative damage after training. B12 and folate, crucial for cellular energy production and tissue repair. Lutein and zeaxanthin, antioxidants that protect eye health and support cognitive function. What about fats? Far from being harmful, the fats in eggs are allies. They provide a balanced ratio of saturated, monounsaturated, and polyunsaturated fats. This balance supports hormone production, including testosterone, key if you're chasing hypertrophy, strength, or performance. Even the infamous dietary cholesterol in eggs, the one everyone feared in the 80s, does not negatively affect blood cholesterol levels in healthy individuals. In fact, it supports steroid hormone production and the integrity of cell membranes. An egg is a capsule of pure nutrition, a natural anabolic, and a complete support system for anyone who trains and wants real results, not just looks. There's a question that always comes up when someone starts eating more eggs. Is 5 eggs a day too much? The short answer is no, it's not. And here's why. When people hear excess, they think cholesterol or fat. But that ignores something crucial: context. 5 eggs contain roughly 30 to 35 grams of protein. That's similar to a 150-gram serving of chicken breast. Does eating 150 grams of chicken sound excessive? No. So why would 5 eggs be? The real problem with eggs isn't their nutrition, it's the satiety they create. The healthy fat content, especially in the yolk, fills you up faster. So many people feel full after 2 eggs and assume they've had enough protein, when in reality, they're far below what's needed to optimally stimulate muscle growth. A practical solution: if you train and want more protein without feeling overly full, Combine 2 or 3 whole eggs with 2 or 3 egg whites. This boosts total protein, maintains satiety, and lets you adjust fat intake based on your goals. Eating 5 eggs a day is not only safe, it can be extremely effective for improving performance, body composition, and metabolic health. The real excess isn't eggs, it's unfounded fear. So far, we've talked about the benefits of eggs, but nothing is black and white. Like any powerful food, eggs depend on context. And if you ignore that context, you can run into problems, even if you're doing everything right. What almost no one tells you is that eggs, like any protein consumed in high amounts, can trigger food sensitivity if your digestive system isn't working properly. How does this happen? It starts in the gut. If your intestinal lining is damaged by chronic stress, alcohol, lack of fiber, overuse of antibiotics, poor chewing habits, or years of eating ultra-processed foods, the proteins you eat aren't fully digested. Instead of being absorbed as amino acids, they leak into the bloodstream as poorly processed fragments. Your immune system reacts. It sounds the alarm. Defense mode. Inflammation. At that point, the egg isn't the real problem, your gut is. But since eggs are in your diet every day, they become the prime suspect. That's where intolerances are born. Sounds exaggerated? Maybe. But think about this. When a dog starts losing hair and gets taken to the vet, one of the first things they do is change its protein source. Why? Because in many cases, sensitivity to that protein is the cause. And humans aren't that different. So if you suspect something's off, bloating, heaviness, fatigue, and you're eating eggs daily, it might be worth removing them temporarily for 8 to 12 weeks while you work on gut repair. Once your digestive system is stronger, you can reintroduce eggs and see if they were really the culprit, or if you just blame them for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Eating eggs isn't dangerous, but eating them with an inflamed gut, without realizing it, can quietly sabotage your progress. Sometimes logic isn't enough. Sometimes, to break a myth, we need evidence. So let's look at what real science says about eating eggs every day. For years, it was believed that the cholesterol in eggs raised blood cholesterol. But modern research shows something very different. A 2018 analysis of more than 500,000 people, published by researchers in China, found that daily egg consumption, 1 egg a day, consistently, was associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular disease. Lower, not higher. In 2017, another long-term study in Finland showed that frequent egg consumption did not increase the risk of Alzheimer's, even in people with a genetic predisposition. In fact, those who ate eggs regularly performed better on cognitive tests. And what about cholesterol? More recent research has made it clear that dietary cholesterol, the kind that comes from foods like eggs, does not have a direct negative impact on LDL cholesterol in healthy individuals. In many cases, it actually improves the ratio between good cholesterol, HDL, and bad cholesterol, LDL. There are also studies comparing the effects of eating 3 eggs a day versus taking choline supplements. The result? Eggs produced a better metabolic effect, even compared to synthetic forms of choline like choline bitartrate, which is common in supplements but less biologically effective. In other words, eggs are not just safe. They're effective, they're powerful, and their positive impact goes far beyond muscle health. It extends to cognition, inflammation control, metabolism, and the prevention of neurodegenerative diseases. So why do you still hear that eggs raise cholesterol? Because misinformation spreads faster than truth. And because many people keep citing outdated, poorly designed studies that have already been debunked. What modern science tells us is clear. If you don't have allergies or specific genetic conditions, you can eat eggs every day. And chances are, your body and your health will thank you for it. Now imagine this. You commit to a challenge. 31 days. Every morning right after waking up, you eat 5 eggs. Every single day. No excuses. You train, you rest, you hydrate, you eat clean. But you keep one rule locked in, 5 eggs a day. What would happen to your body? You might think it's too much. But what many people don't realize is that this amount, when properly spaced, can give you 30 to 35 grams of highly bioavailable protein per day. Exactly what your body needs to trigger muscle protein synthesis from the very first meal. What you'd see after those 31 days wouldn't just be a physical change. You'd feel fuller. You'd snack less. You'd gain better control over your total calorie intake. You'd notice improvements in your skin, your digestion, and your training energy. You might even start sleeping better, thanks to the effects of choline and vitamin D on sleep quality. And there's more. Your recovery between workouts becomes faster, more efficient. Fatigue doesn't drag you down anymore. Your nervous system responds better. Your performance stabilizes. Your body feels dialed in, and all of this. Why? Because you chose to give your body a complete, functional, and evolutionarily coherent food. One that was ignored for years out of fear, not science. So here's the real question. Are you willing to try it? Are you ready to challenge the myth and test it for yourself? Because if you do, it might not just change your physique. It could change the way you understand nutrition forever. Here's the irony. For years, we were afraid of eggs. A complete ancestral food packed with protein, vitamins, antioxidants, and healthy fats. All because someone, at some point, said it had cholesterol. Meanwhile, we normalize lab-made foods. Products we don't recognize. Foods that didn't exist 100 years ago, wrapped in plastic and loaded with additives. But if there's one thing we've learned, and you already know this if you train, it's that the answer isn't in the newest trend. The answer is in going back to the essentials, to what the body recognizes, to what actually works. And eggs work. Don't be afraid. Fear misinformation instead. Fear building your diet on myths and half-truths, because that can cost you years of progress. Or your health. You've been eating eggs wrong your entire life. Not the wrong food, the wrong preparation. And that difference is costing you muscle you should already have. The egg is the most complete muscle-building food on the planet. Most men are getting maybe 40% of what it can do for them. 7 recipes. Tonight. Number 1. The testosterone bowl. 2 whole eggs. 1 tablespoon of butter. 1 ounce of raw cheddar. Cooked low and slow in a cast iron pan. Here's the mechanism. The yolk is not just protein. It is a complete hormonal support package. Cholesterol, the raw structural material testosterone is built from. Vitamin D, a direct cofactor in testosterone synthesis. Zinc, selenium, all in one yolk. No single nutrient does the job alone. The yolk does it together. That is why throwing it away is one of the most expensive mistakes a man who trains can make. The dose, 2 whole eggs, not egg whites, not a carton of liquid egg product. 2 whole eggs with the yolk, every morning, non-negotiable. The supplement industry would isolate one of those nutrients, put it in a black bottle with an X in the name, charge you $60, and leave out the other 4. The yolk has all of them. It costs 30 cents. Number 2. The overnight muscle shake, 4 whole eggs, soft-boiled or poached, 1 cup of whole milk, 1 tablespoon of raw honey, blended together, served cold or at room temperature. Here's the mechanism. Casein protein from the milk digests slowly, over 5 to 6 hours, releasing amino acids steadily through the night while you sleep. The eggs add fast-acting complete protein with all 9 essential amino acids, creating a 2-phase release. The honey provides a controlled insulin spike that drives those amino acids into muscle tissue at the moment they're most receptive. Together, this is a sustained muscle-building signal that runs while you do absolutely nothing. The dose. This is your last thing before bed. Not a second dinner. Replace whatever you're currently eating at 10 p.m. with this. Soft-boil the eggs earlier in the day. Blend everything cold. Drink it 30 minutes before sleep. A word on raw eggs. Rocky drank them raw. Rocky also trained in a freezing slaughterhouse with no coach and a 4 a.m. wake-up call. You don't have to do everything Rocky did. Cooked eggs absorb at 90%. Raw eggs absorb at 50%. Cook the eggs. Get twice the protein. It's a better deal. Number 3. The anabolic scramble. 3 whole eggs. Half a cup of black beans. 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Salt. That's it. Here's the mechanism. The black beans add slow-digesting complex carbohydrates that replenish muscle glycogen post-workout. The olive oil provides oleic acid, which reduces systemic inflammation, the same inflammation that slows recovery between sessions. The eggs provide the complete amino acid profile. This is a post-workout meal that covers protein, carbs, and anti-inflammatory fat in one pan. The dose. Within 45 minutes of finishing your training session, 3 eggs, minimum. Do not skip the beans. That's where the glycogen replenishment comes from. If you're currently eating a protein bar after training, you are paying $3 for an inferior version of this. This costs 80 cents and takes 4 minutes. Here's what most men don't understand about eggs. The egg is not just a protein source. It is a complete hormonal support system in a shell. Protein, healthy fat, cholesterol for testosterone, choline for brain function and fat metabolism, lutein and zeaxanthin for eye health, vitamin D, vitamin B12, selenium. No other single food does all of that at once. The reason the fitness industry pushed egg whites and protein powder for 30 years is simple. There is no money in telling you to eat the whole egg. There is a lot of money in selling you a powder that does half the job at 10 times the cost. Every recipe on this list uses the whole egg. Every single one. If you're still separating yolks after this video, I genuinely don't know what to tell you. Items 4 and 5 are coming up. And then number 6. Number 4. The Zinc Stack Omelet. 3 whole eggs, 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds, half a cup of spinach, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. Here's the mechanism. Zinc is the single most important mineral for testosterone production. Most men who train are zinc deficient because intense exercise depletes zinc faster than a sedentary diet replaces it. Pumpkin seeds are the most practical and accessible plant-based source of zinc you can add to any meal. No cooking required, no preparation, just fold them in. The spinach adds magnesium, the second most common deficiency in training men. Magnesium directly regulates sleep quality and cortisol suppression. Coconut oil provides medium-chain triglycerides that the body converts to energy rather than storing as fat. The dose: 3 eggs, 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds folded in, half a cup of spinach wilted in coconut oil. Eat this at dinner, not breakfast. The magnesium and zinc work best when consumed in the evening. Pumpkin seeds in an omelet. I know. Sounds like something you'd order at a cafe while journaling about your feelings. Eat it anyway. Your testosterone will thank you. Number 5. The Cortisol Killer. 2 whole eggs, 1 medium sweet potato, 1 tablespoon of butter, pinch of cinnamon. Here's the mechanism. Cortisol and testosterone run on a direct seesaw. When cortisol goes up, testosterone goes down. After intense training, cortisol is elevated. That's normal. What keeps it elevated is the absence of a recovery signal. Complex carbohydrates are that signal. They replenish muscle glycogen and tell your body that the stress event is over. The sweet potato delivers that signal cleanly, along with potassium for muscle contraction and vitamin C for tissue repair. Cinnamon improves insulin sensitivity, which means the nutrients from the eggs get shuttled into muscle tissue more efficiently. The butter provides the fat needed to absorb the fat-soluble vitamins in the yolk. The dose. You already ate number 3 right after training. This is 2 hours later. The follow-up meal. The one that finishes the recovery window. 2 eggs, 1 sweet potato, butter, cinnamon. That's it. The men in your gym who recover fastest between sessions are not taking expensive recovery supplements. They are eating meals like this one. You've been watching them and wondering why they're always ready to train again. Now you know. Number 6 is coming up. The 4-minute recipe I mentioned at the start. The one that hits every anabolic trigger at once. Right after this. Number 6. The Anabolic Power Bowl. 4 whole eggs, half an avocado, 1 tablespoon of raw honey, 1 ounce of Brazil nuts, cooked in butter. This is the recipe. Here's why it works. The eggs provide complete protein, all 9 essential amino acids in the exact ratios your muscle tissue needs for repair and growth. The avocado provides monounsaturated fat and potassium. Potassium is critical for muscle contraction and nerve signaling. Most men are chronically low in it and have no idea. The raw honey spikes insulin just enough to drive those amino acids directly into muscle tissue at the moment they're most receptive. That is the post-workout window. That is why this meal belongs here first. The Brazil nuts, 2 of them, not a handful, 2, provide selenium. Selenium is the cofactor that activates the enzyme responsible for converting inactive thyroid hormone into its active form. Your metabolism, your energy, your body composition, all of it runs through that conversion. 2 Brazil nuts per day covers your entire daily requirement. Most men have never thought about selenium once in their lives. And the butter is not optional. The fat-soluble vitamins in the egg yolk, A, D, E, K, require dietary fat to be absorbed. Without fat, you are eating the egg and leaving the vitamins in the pan. The butter is the delivery mechanism. 4 minutes, 1 pan, under $2. Before bed works too. The mechanisms shift slightly toward overnight recovery rather than acute post-workout repair. But the result is the same. Post-workout is the primary window. Use it there first. The supplement industry cannot sell you this. There is no product here. There is no subscription. There is no 30-day supply. There is an egg, an avocado, some honey, 2 Brazil nuts, and a tablespoon of butter. That is why nobody told you about it. Number 7. The weekly prep base. A dozen hard-boiled eggs. Prepared Sunday. Eaten throughout the week. The mechanism. Consistency beats optimization every single time. The reason most men don't build muscle at the rate they should isn't that they don't know what to eat. It's that when they're tired, when they're busy, when they get home at 9 p.m. and the kitchen is cold, they eat whatever is easiest. Hard-boiled eggs are the answer to that problem. In the shell, they last 7 days in the fridge. Peel them as you eat them, 30 seconds per egg, right when you need one. Do not peel them all at once. Peeled eggs last 1 day. Eggs in the shell last a week. Keep the shell on until the moment you eat it. The dose. 12 eggs on Sunday. That's 2 eggs per day for 6 days with 2 left over for the day you eat 3. Boil them all at once. Store them in the shell. Done. Here's what this does beyond the nutrition. It removes the decision. When you're tired and hungry and your willpower is at 0, the decision has already been made. The eggs are there. You eat them. You don't eat the thing you would have eaten instead. The men who are consistent with their nutrition are not more disciplined than you. They have better systems. This is a system. It takes 20 minutes on Sunday, and it solves 6 days of the most common failure point in muscle-building nutrition. Every recipe on this list works better when you also have hard-boiled eggs in your fridge. They are the backup, the default, the thing that catches you when everything else falls apart. The woman in your kitchen might ask why there are always a dozen eggs in the fridge. Tell her it's a system. She'll notice the results before she understands the reason. Here's what you do tonight. Pick one recipe from this list. Just one, not all 7. 1. If you train today, the anabolic power bowl. Number 6. 4 eggs, half an avocado, raw honey, 2 Brazil nuts, butter. 4 minutes. If you didn't train today, the testosterone bowl. Number 1. 2 whole eggs, butter, raw cheddar, cast iron, low heat. 3 minutes. If it's late and you don't want to cook, hard boil a dozen eggs right now. Put them in the fridge. Tomorrow is handled. That's the stack. One recipe. Tonight. Not a full meal plan overhaul. Not a grocery list of 40 items. One recipe. Tonight. The men who get results don't wait for the perfect moment to start the perfect plan. They make one better decision tonight and build from there. One recipe. Tonight. Here's the truth. The egg has been available to every man on this planet for thousands of years. It is the most complete muscle-building food that exists. It costs less than any supplement ever invented. And for 30 years, the fitness industry convinced an entire generation of men to throw away the yolk and buy a powder instead. That is one of the greatest marketing achievements in the history of nutrition. And most men are still living inside it. Next video, watch this one before you eat again. 7 foods that are better than Ozempic. And they're natural. No prescription, no injection, no side effects, no $300 monthly bill. The pharmaceutical industry is not going to like that video. It's already up. Link is right there. If this channel is giving you information you're not getting anywhere else, subscribe. 1 button, 2 seconds. Now go eat the yolk.